This is not a story of hope, and it is not a story of heroes. It is the end of all things. The day the universe fell silent, and the only name left to speak was Thanos. Welcome to Thanos Wins. On this world, the war was already over. Armies lay in ruin. The bodies of warriors rotted in the dust. Thanos did not fight for the throne. He simply took it. And their king. His skull was crushed beneath the foot of the Mad Titan. Amid the wreckage of the Chitauri, he sat as if the seat had always been waiting for him. He watched the last of the beasts fall to their knees, not as subjects, as victims. For Thanos, victory was never the goal. Victory was only the beginning. Then the world shook with fire. From the sky fell a storm of flames, and at its heart, a demon. Not alive, not dead, something in between. A skull burning like the lantern of hell. It was Ghost Rider, but not the one Earth had known. This was something far worse. A cosmic curse. A rider of the apocalypse. Cosmic Ghost Rider. He had not come to claim a throne. He had not even come to kill. He had come for one thing. For Thanos. Thanos struck first. One blow. One thunderclap that could shatter mountains. But the demon only smiled. Chains lashed out from his hands. They coiled around Thanos, binding every limb. The Mad Titan struggled, roared with fury. But the bonds of hell did not break. And then the rider revealed why he had come. A shard of the Time Stone blazed in his grasp. The world split apart, and time itself tore open before them. Thanos, bound and bellowing with rage, dragged into the abyss of eternity. Before him stretched a universe cold and dead, stars extinguished, planets ground to dust. This was the end of all things, and at the heart of the void stood a throne, built from bone and ash. Upon it sat an old man, scarred, withered, yet in his eyes burned the same merciless light. Not an enemy, not a stranger. It was Thanos, the king of a universe long dead and long since conquered. He raised his head, looked into the eyes of his younger self, and whispered, "You won." But there was no glory around him, only silence. A dead universe he had long since burned. King Thanos made him look into the past. The Avengers torn to pieces, Iron Man ripped in half, Thor crushed, Asgard reduced to ashes, entire civilizations erased. Everyone who had ever stood against the Mad Titan had fallen, world after world, god after god, until only he remained. Thus was born the King of the Universe. But young Thanos saw no triumph. He saw an old man unworthy of the name. He struck, knocking him down. "You are no king. You are no Thanos." The chains of the cosmic Ghost Rider lashed between them, but the Mad Titan seized the rider's flaming skull in his hands. Bones cracked, flames screamed. Only the king's command stopped him. "No, please." That single word ignited the young one's fury. Thanos does not beg. Thanos does not plead. Thanos takes. It was blasphemy. The young Titan roared and leapt at him. Two Thanoses clashed like colliding worlds. The rage of the young against the worn, but still inhuman, strength of the old. But King Thanos did not fight to win. He caught the blows. Then, with a single blast, laid the younger Thanos in the dust and revealed the truth. "I lost someone even I cannot bring back alone. I need you to help me get them." In the silence of a dead universe fell words no Thanos should ever speak. Not a command, not a threat, a plea. But before the battle could rage on, one truth had to be revealed. The writer, who he was, and why even Thanos kept him close. Frank Castle was one of the last alive when Thanos burned the Earth. He watched everything he'd ever defended turn to dust. And he whispered a wish, one desperate word. Anything to kill the monster no one could stop. Mephisto answered. A deal, Hellfire, Ghost Rider. Frank returned, but Earth was gone. There was no one left to avenge. He wandered alone for centuries until his mind began to crumble. Then came Galactus, fleeing from Thanos. He needed a herald. Frank needed a purpose. The deal was simple. Give me power, and together we'll kill Thanos. The power cosmic fused with Hellfire. Thus was born the cosmic Ghost Rider. For millennia they hunted, until at last they stood before Thanos. And Thanos smashed Galactus' skull. One strike, the end of gods, the end of hope. Frank was left alone. Alone in a dead universe. With power, with hell inside him, and no purpose. When Thanos offered his hand, the Rider took it. Not from loyalty, from emptiness. And now, across time itself, that same Rider stood by Thanos' side. As the heavens split open with the arrival of the last survivor, the Fallen One. The Silver Surfer. Not a herald, not a servant, but a man. Finally worthy of Mjolnir. He did not return alone. From the void marched a horde of black monstrosities, crawling, endless, born of shadow and silence. They followed him like soldiers of the grave, no longer the servant of Galactus. He was a conqueror in his own right, wielding the thunder of Asgard itself. He was wrath, he was vengeance, he was a god. At his side, the swarm charged, and at the front stood the Fallen One himself, Mjolnir raised high. Cosmic Ghost Rider roared with hellfire, chains screaming through the air. But against the hammer of the worthy, he lasted only a heartbeat. One strike. Mjolnir shattered his skull into ash, and silence fell upon the battlefield. Even Thanos felt the weight of that blow. When the smoke cleared, only a handful remained. Two Thanoses, Hulk and the fallen Surfer. Hulk lunged at Surfer, but Surfer did not fight. Hulk remembered. He was his old friend. Fallen One calmed him, and Hulk became Bruce Banner once more. Broken, weary, human. For a heartbeat, it looked like mercy. But mercy died with the swing of a blade. The sword of Surtur in the hands of King Thanos. It pierced both Banner and Surfer at once. Banner died instantly. Surfer fell, bleeding but unbroken. The two Thanoses descended upon him. They severed his arm, and when he collapsed, they finished him. His head was mounted on Mjolnir. Outside in the void, death was waiting, not in silence, not in shadow, but in a wedding dress. King Thanos smiled like a child. After all the centuries of loneliness, she had returned. But the young Thanos saw the truth. It was not Surfer he was brought here to kill. It was King Thanos who wanted to die. The young Titan roared and attacked. He broke the old man's arm. And when he had the chance to end him, he stopped. He looked into his own eyes and saw defeat. He did not want this future. He took the fragment of the Time Stone, turned away from the throne, and returned to his own time. King Thanos was left alone, alone with bone, with ash, with the shadow of death he longed for, but who was never his. This was the story where Thanos truly won, but his greatest victory was his greatest curse. He defeated gods, heroes, entire worlds, but in the end, his greatest enemy was himself. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like, subscribe for more Marvel Explained, and let me know in the comments, which saga should we dive into next?